Welcome to day 83 of the school year. Let's go ahead and get this filled in. All right. So our beginning fraction, we have a total of 180 school days, so that's our denominator, and we are on day 83. So let's go ahead and find the factors of our numerator, which is 83. Two factors we always know are 1 and the number itself. Using the commutative property of multiplication, I can also write it as 83 times 1. Now I'm going to look for other possible factors, and I'm going to use my divisibility rules. I'm going to go in order so I don't miss any one of them. So in order after 1 is 2. The rule for 2 is that it ends in an even number. It ends in an odd number, so 2 is not a factor. And if 2 is not a factor, no even numbers will be, so I just have to check odd numbers. The next odd number is 3. The rule for 3 is that we add the digits together, get 11. 11 is not a multiple of 3, so 3 is not a factor. We try 5. The rule for 5 is that it ends in a 0 or 5. It ends in 3, so 5 is not a factor. We try 7. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70, 77, 84. 83 is not in that list, so 7 is not a factor. We try 9. 9 has the same rule as 3. You add the digits together, we get 11. 11 is not a multiple of 9, so 9 is not a factor. We try 11, 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88. 83 is not in that list, so 11 is not a factor. I'm going to check to see if 83 may be prime. Yes, it is. If it is prime, then it has exactly 2 factors, 1 and the number itself. That is it. So we need to figure out if 83 may be a common factor. If not, then 1 is our greatest common factor. So let's go ahead and make our group of 83. Oops. 77. Plus 3 is 80 plus 3, so I have 14 left over, so that means 83 is not our greatest common factor. And that leaves 1 as our greatest common factor. So let's make our groups of 1. Done. So 83 is how many are shaded in. Our total amount of groups of 1 is 180. Okay, let's go ahead and prove it with our algorithm. We're dividing everything into groups of 1. So 180 divided by 1, 83 divided by 1. Okay, 100 times 1 is 100. Numbers the same, zeros the game. More on top, no need to stop. Numbers the same, zeros the game. 80 times 1 is 80. Numbers the same, zeros the game. Add our partial quotients together. 100 plus 80 is 180. Here, 80 times 1 is 80. More on top, no need to stop. Numbers the same, zeros the game. 3 times 1 is 3. Numbers the same, zeros the game. 80 plus 3 is 83. Now we need to check. Divisor times quotient plus remainder. Divisor times quotient plus remainder. Now since our remainder is 0 for both, and the identity property of addition says when you add 0, it stays the same. We don't need to add 0. But what we end up with here is our identity property of multiplication that says when you multiply by 1, it stays the same. One group of 0 is 0, one group of 8 tenths is 8 tenths, one group of 100 is 100. One group of 3 is 3, one group of 8 tenths is 8 tenths. 83, that matches our dividend, so that checks. 180, that matches our dividend, So it checks. That means our numerator is definitely 83, and our denominator is definitely 180. All right, let's go ahead and fill in our data collection page. Okay, trimester 2, week 5. Today is 12, 12, 19, and our fraction for today is 83 180ths. 83 is a prime number. It is not a factor of 180, so that means our greatest common factor was 1. And since we do groups of 1 and they're already on here, you do not have to get your number line out. But here it is, just to show you, and there's no lines lined up underneath it because it is our simplest form or equivalent fraction in lowest terms. Okay, so go ahead and erase your worksheet, and thank you for joining me.